Hello folks, November 11th, 2025. We're going to cap some MAC action for tonight as we have the Ohio Bobcats taking on Western Michigan. Should be a good game. Over is set at 46.5. The line is now back to Western Michigan minus 1.5. That line had flipped towards Ohio, but now it's come back to Western Michigan. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the MAC this year. As you look at the standings, Ohio is 6-3, so they're on pace to be, to maybe play in the championship game, the MAC championship, or win it outright. They're 4-1 in the conference. Their SRS minus 105. Their strength of schedule minus 5.39. Not really that lofty. You look at Western Michigan is 5-4, 4-1 in the conference, right? Strength of schedule, simple rating system minus 210, but slightly better on the SOS. Played slightly tougher competition Western Michigan has this year. Fairly close in the SRS as well. So this is a very important game for both teams. Ohio wins this game, they pretty much are going to knock Western Michigan out of any chance at having a chance to play for the MAC title, the MAC championship game. And then Ohio will separate themselves from the pack with Buffalo and Miami and Central Michigan and Toledo. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at what Ohio has done this year. Okay, coached by Brian Smith. Brian Smith in his second year, 7-3, not bad. Okay, we take a look at their quarterback, Parker Navarro, 1,987 yards, 12 touchdowns, but look at that, leads the conference in interceptions with 8, and his ADOT, yards per catch, average distance of throw, 8.3 on the ADOT there, okay? We look at who's getting in the end zone. Chase Hendricks, not getting in the end zone, but he's got 60 receptions for 845 yards, and he's got 6 touchdowns. So he's leading the conference, leading the MAC in receptions and receiving yards for Chase Hendricks. So a guy to keep an eye on there. Duncan Brune, he's got 6 on the ground. He's the guy that they're going to go to try to run the ball. As you can see there, got 6 on the ground there. And look at this guy. Sia Bangura had a monster game last week, had a touchdown. He leads the conference in touchdown runs on the ground in the MAC. So you got Chase Hendricks and Sia Bangura. Both those guys are the main guys on offense. One wide receiver, one running back. 2 guys you're going to want to keep an eye on. Bangura is averaging 5.3 yards per rush there, 92 yards a game. So those are the guys you're looking at. Let's take a look at the defense here for the Ohio Bobcats. 42 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 8 interceptions. They got 3 fumble recoveries, 30 passes deflected, and 3 forced fumbles. Okay, let's take a look at their kicking game. David Dallenbach. Okay. 2 for 3 on field goals made, 15 for 16 on extra points. Okay, so those are the guys we're looking at. Let's take a look at what they've done this year. Take a look at what's going on with these guys. Okay, they're coming off the win last week against Miami, Ohio. They won 24-20. And we look what they're doing here. They're pretty balanced. We'll start from here. They got 9 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, and they got 3 through the air. 6 rushing touchdowns against Northern Illinois is what's getting it done there for them. And then balanced attack last couple weeks against Eastern Michigan and Miami, Ohio. I want to take a look, as I usually do. 2-7, Northern Illinois. 3-7. So that's 5-14, 5-18, 10-18. So their last 3 weeks, they're 3-0, but against a combined record of 10-18. Let's see what their opponents have done to them this year. They're getting passed on a lot here too as well on that defense. They got 6 passing touchdowns against them in the last 3 weeks, and they have 2 rushing touchdowns against them in the last 3 weeks against those teams, against a 10-18 combined record over the last 3 weeks there. So they're getting the ball moved on them through the air. They got 12 turnovers on the year, 8 of them interceptions. As we said, Parker Navarro leads the MAC there in interceptions, and then they forced 11 turnovers. And their defense has forced 3 turnovers in the last 3 weeks there. So very interesting. Yeah, let's take a look at Western Michigan. Let's see what they've done. They have 7 passing touchdowns on the year and one interception. Brock Lowry. Offensively, they pass the ball 26 times a game, but they rush it for 41 attempts a game. So they like to run the ball, Western Michigan. I want to take a look at their coach, Lance Taylor, since he's been with Western Michigan, 15-19. Not really something to write home about, okay? And their SRS is 88th in the nation, and their SOS 111th. So they haven't really played a tough schedule either. Offensively, like we said, Brock Lowry's got 8 rushing touchdowns. Ofa Matali is looks like to be their another one of the running backs that gets in. Devin Miles has got 2 touchdowns. Jalen Buckley's got 2. So they got 16 on the ground, and then they got 8 as far as receiving. Williams has got 2 touchdowns. Chenault's got 2. Brescia's got 2. Those are your guys through the air that you're looking at there. They're getting it done. 24 touchdowns from scrimmage. Defensively, Nadam Tucker's got 15 tackles for loss. He leads the conference there. They got 56 tackles for loss. They're better than Ohio there. They got 29 sacks on the year, 6 interceptions, 7 fumble recoveries, and 9 forced fumbles. Okay. Kicking and punting, Hunter Smith, 1 for 2 on field goals made. It looks like Palmer Domsky took over there. He's 8 for 11 field goals this year, 22 of 23 on field goal extra points. And that's how they're getting it done. Let's take a look at the scoring here. And again, Lowry, Domsky, their field goal kicker, Buckley, Brescia. Those are the guys that are getting it done for that. Let's take a look at what they've done and who they've played last few weeks. Okay, they are 3-0 at home against the MAC this year, right? They beat Toledo, Ball State, and Central Michigan. Let's take a look at a 5-4 team, 4-5 team, and a 5-4 team. So they've beaten good competition at home this year compared to what Ohio has done in their last 3 weeks as far as their competition they played. So as maybe they didn't play the toughest competition, but their 3 wins at home are definitely tougher competition than what Ohio has seen in the last 3 weeks. Okay? Take a look here at their game logs. They have 5 passing touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. And they got 6 rushing touchdowns in the last. Very well balanced, right? They're well balanced as far as what they've done the last 3 weeks against. Listen, Ball State 4-5, Miami, Ohio 5-4, Central Michigan 5-4. So even their last 3 weeks altogether are way tougher competition than what Ohio was seeing. We can glean the fact that Western Michigan needs this game to stay in the MAC title hunt. And, I mean, you look at what they've done. What have teams done against them the last 3 weeks? They've given up 3 passing touchdowns and only 2 rushing touchdowns against tougher competition. We've seen what Ohio has let up as far as touchdowns on defense in their last 3 weeks against weaker competition. Parker Navarro, he's got a lot of interceptions, leads the MAC. This guy, the quarterback here, is not necessarily prolific, but Brock Lowry's not prolific, but he's only got 1 interception, right? 65% completion percentage. His ADOT is a little bit right. He's right there with Navarro. And the guys you have to worry about for Ohio are Hendricks and Segura. You know, those guys are their 2 main guys that are scoring there. But these guys are a little bit more balanced in their attack, as we said. Let's go back to their game logs here. I mean, if I'm looking at this game, they got to stop the fumble losses. They fumbled the ball. They got a fumble loss in their last 3 games. I mean, every game since here, they're fumbling the ball. I mean, they got 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 fumble losses in the last 6 games. They had none in the beginning of the season. They're putting the ball on the turf. They're not throwing interceptions. They got to clean up the fumbles. You cannot have a turnover game in games like this that could be decided by a turnover. And they're forcing. They do have 3 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries in the last 3 games, and they got 2 interceptions in the last 4 games. So they're going to have to be tougher there. They are a little bit tougher on defense. If I'm looking at this game, I will say also something to take a look at here. Over the last 15 road games for Ohio versus the MAC, they're 10-5. They're plus 124 in the point differential. Average score 42 points a game. Ohio, in their last 9 road MAC games, they're 6-3, plus 62. Average score is about 38 points a game. And their last 5 road games for Ohio is they're 3-2, plus 49 point differential and 41 points a game. All those metrics come in under the total of 46.5 there. If we're looking at Western Michigan in their last 15 road games against the MAC, they're 9-6. Their point differential is plus 32. Average score is 49 points a game. Their last 9, they're 6-3 at home versus the MAC for Western Michigan, plus 5.7, 53.2 points a game. And Western Michigan is 4-1 in their last 5 home games against the MAC, plus 68 points differential there. If I'm looking at this game, guys, I'm going to lean Western Michigan. They're at home. The line is right. It went towards Ohio, but that's going to be my call here. I am going to call Western Michigan money line tonight versus Ohio. That's going to be my call. If I was going to look at an over-under on the lean, I'm going to look at the under here, under 46.5. So that's going to be Wager Detective's call here, November 11th, 2025, MAC action Tuesday. Wager Detective is going to go with Western Michigan money line and under 46.5. I hope to see you guys in the winner circle, 11:25 a.m. here from Atlantic City. I'll talk to you soon.